Live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We
There.
have a bit of a treat today. Special guest Cheryl's joining us today. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself, Cheryl?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kevin. It's so awesome to be here. I appreciate you bringing me in.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you're
I
okay.
there we go. Now we're ready. I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that, but it's great to be here. And
Mhm.
I work with the Akashic Records. I've been doing this for over 25 years.
Mm.
I do readings for people. I work with individuals. I work with businesses. I also teach people how to open the Akashic Records, and I write. And I've got books on Amazon. You put in my name, you'll find the books. Um, but that's kind of what brought me to what we're going to do today is
Yeah.
I started working with the gemstones in the Akashic Records
Mm.
pretty much in the very beginning of my career, and about a year and a half ago decided to work on a book. Thinking that it was going to be something more like a crystal Bible kind of thing. And
Right.
it turned out that because I was working with the guardian energy of gemstones and healing stones, they decided that what they really would rather me do is a book that brought the messages from each of the gemstone guardians. So the book itself is 30, the messages from 30 gemstone guardians via the Akashic Records.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah.
We were kind of talking about it a little bit backstage before we went live about just like deep diving into each of these crystals and almost like the soul level of the crystal,
Yes.
opening up the Akashic records with that.
Yes, that's so one of the things I have found in working with the Akashic Records with gemstones is that essentially there's three levels at which you can work. One
Mhm.
is you open the records of a stone, right? Like a piece
Yeah.
of amethyst. The next is that you open the records of, say, all amethyst. And then you can also then open the records of what I call the guardian energy, right? So
Mm.
that's where the gemstone guardian kind of
Yeah.
idea comes from. And like you're saying, that's really like opening the soul of the
So,
gemstone, right?
hmm,
Which is essentially like if I were to open your records, that's what I'm doing is I'm opening up the records of your soul. So
right.
you're kind of getting on that same level there. Yeah. So, and then what you get there when you work with the guardians in the gemstones, it's like that's where you get personality. That's where you get like this very definitive sense of what it means to be quartz and what it
Right.
means to be sugilite or whatever the gemstone is, and so it's sort of like pulling up a seat to I don't know, like a group of quartz and having a conversation.
Right. Like the collective energy of quartz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And some of them speak in a sort of like what I would think of as like a chorus voice, like you get the
Mm.
sense that it's like multiple guardians of quartz, whereas like
Yeah.
turquoise was very much one.
Interesting.
Even though there's more energy there,
Hmm.
the contact. In fact, she called herself Mother Quartz or Mother Turquoise,
Hmm.
and that's one of the things I found so interesting about all of that was, I mean, I had known that from a lot of the work, but when I got really concentrated on writing the book, um, the energy they were showing up with just became very, very deep and expansive,
Yeah.
and and so it was like it's almost had the feeling of like if you sit down with your grandmother or your grandfather and you say, so tell me what your life is like or has been like, right? Like what do
Hmm.
you remember? Those kinds of questions. It was sitting, it had that kind of experience, and that's kind of what made it so enjoyable to do it, but it also is what made it take longer.
Right. Right. I can imagine.
Uh-huh. So yeah, so I really liked it. And so each gemstone, as I was going through all of this, I was using, most of the way I work in the records is to ask questions, because what comes out of the records is through intention. And so for most of us, that's questions. I had a set of questions I took to each Gemstone Guardian, and they started adding things that I should ask. So then I'm going back to all the other Gemstone Guardians. But I ended up from all of them with a spirit name and a message for humanity. And at some point when I was organizing all of this, I thought, oh my God, the messages would be amazing if they were on a card, right? Like I was thinking of how to share the energy, right? Like I can put it in a book, but how else can I share this? And excuse me. So that's why I came up with the idea of the cards. And I just call them healing message cards, because that's what's there is a healing message. So like I can show you, like, so I just made these, they're like square cards. Like this one obviously is for Jasper. So it's got a picture of Jasper. And then the second line right there is the spirit name. So Jasper's spirit name is Ancient Unity. And then there's the message. And somewhere in that was then when I realized, oh, I could do readings with these.
And we are going to be doing some readings with them here in a little bit. We'll be doing some past, present, future readings with Cheryl's cards. And she was so kind to gift me her deck. I haven't played with them too much, but
thank you.
But I'm looking forward to kind of diving in and reading about all the Gemstone Guardians.
Thank you.
And we were talking too about this being like a process, but are you already currently working with more of them as?
Yes. Yes. And I've been getting emails from people saying, Cheryl, please do this one. Why didn't you do that? Why isn't this one in the book? Right?
Everybody's got a favorite, right?
Right. And then there's the whole issue of like, is there a difference from the Gemstone Guardian picture point of view, like say between quartz and smoky quartz? And is Lemurian crystal different? And you know, like now we get into some complicated questions about how I'm going to deal with all that. So, but yeah. And then I also went and I've done research, like trying to find lists of every gemstone that everybody knows anything about. And I got a list of like, I don't know, 300 or something.
Right. I can imagine. Imagine.
So, so, I mean, I could just turn my life into this if that's what I wanted to do. But, so I would say over the next year or so, I'm going to be adding. So, and what I do sometimes is when I get a new message, I add it to like my blog. So, and then I'm also going to be adding like video on my like YouTube channel that I'll have messages from different ones.
Very cool.
So,
is your blog part of your website?
Yes, my blog is part of my website. Yep. I've actually, because I have
your website in the description box if anybody's interested in looking up for the book or the cards. If anybody would like, you teach as well, accessing the Akashic records and readings as well. So that information's all on her website in the description box. And you do have a YouTube channel. It's is it Cheryl Marlene?
Yes, it is. Cheryl Marlene, I think -- Akashic Mystic.
Akashic Mystic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I have that in the description box too. So please go over and subscribe to Cheryl's channel.
Oh, thank you.
I
appreciate
get her some support up there.
Yeah.
And we are going to be doing some personal readings. It's a little bit different. It's not going to be a question, but so hold on to the questions for right now. If anybody in the chat has any questions for Cheryl with the Akashic records or the Gemstone Guardians, you can go ahead and send those. And we're going to do a little bit of an intro and questions and answers, and then get into some of the reading. So
sounds good. I'm excited about this. I love doing this.
And I've seen you use your cards on a couple others channels, and And I think you even threw some for me, which it was cool.
Yeah, I think I did do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely really resonated, and it's
Yeah.
unique. It's not like a typical card reading per se. I really like the past, present, future of like the energy and like opening up the records with the cards with that.
Yeah, well, it was something there's one of the energies I work with around this is called the Council of the Gemstone Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually like a collection of all the
Okay.
guardians. And then there's others that are a part of it. And so I said, well, how can I do readings? And they were the ones that made the suggestion. They liked the idea of this. And so it's basically that you pull 3 cards. The first one is for what was or the
Yeah.
past. Then what is the present, and then what will be. And because there's 30 cards,
Mm-hmm.
the way that so to try to replicate people pulling a card out of the deck, you just give me the numbers. So the first number you give me is what was, the second one is what is, and the third one is what will be. And so you pick numbers 1 through 30. And every time I do a reading, I shuffle. So you're getting a whole different, your numbers are coming out of whatever has been shuffled.
It's not in a specific order that you keep the cards in.
Right. Exactly. So I just, so that way it is completely random. And because we're all connected, then it's the cards that you need in the moment, or is what's showing up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I just put your channel link in the chat for everybody. So hopefully you can all click on it and go over to subscribe.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you want to share, or are we good to, I'm good for about an hour total. So by like 4, I kind of have to wrap up, but
that's fine. No, I'm ready, Kevin, whenever you are. I'm ready to start reading.
I'm all set. So, so everyone, how we're going to do this, like Cheryl was saying, you'll write a number 1 through 30 for what was, 1 through 30 for what is, and then what's to come.
Yes,
1
exactly.
through 30 for that. And I'm going to pull a card as well.
Yes, this is going to be, I love doing this. I think this.
Yes, it's really cool. All right, so we're going to do Wiki first. And we're going to go in no particular order, just kind of how things come up. So Wiki would like 25, 3, and 8.
Okay.
2 of my lucky numbers.
All right. 1, 2, 3. 28.
So everybody watching, you kind of get the gist of it.
Okay. And then 1, 2. And so these are for you. Okay. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. So let me just open. I have a short way of opening the records when I do this. Okay. And these were for you, Kevin?
No, these are for Wiki.
For Wiki. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So the first card for you is Obsidian. And the spirit name of Obsidian is Angelic Transition. And what they're telling me about what was for you is that this is how your life up to this point has created a foundation for you to be able to live your life. They think that it's come through a lot of hard work, and part of the message of Obsidian is self-essence is empowered in the transition and in the still point. So this means that you have, I guess, let's say, successfully created a foundation for yourself that takes you through the creative motion of the earth, of the universe, in a very, very positive way. So that what is for you comes through the energy of Citron, whose spirit name is Soul Light, and they're saying because of what you have done in terms of obsidian energy, you have, your soul is the light of your soul is completely open. It's a part of your life and everything that you do, so that, oh, now I got cold chills. What will be is Jasper, which is ancient unity. And what that means is that between the foundation of obsidian and the clear light of citron, you're bringing forward ancient wisdom.
Yeah. I have the Hierophant here, and I have my wisdom card. So that's,
oh my gosh.
That's definitely validation there, isn't it?
That's awesome.
Yeah. The Hierophant, material and spiritual prosperity. And this is often the card of charity as well. So a lot of giving of yourself, giving this wisdom,
yes,
this enlightenment that you've learned, and charging full stream ahead, victorious. So I love how the cards really validate the crystal, the gemstone cards.
Yeah, it's
very cool.
It's all connected, so you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wiki.
Yes, thank you. All right, got some of these start up. So, and I think Ness said it would be the card she shuffles. She says it would be nice if a number list is listed somewhere after the corresponding cards. So if not everybody read, they could see what the numbers mean. But you shuffle them in between, so it's not the same card. If I pick one for my reading, and then the next person's up and they pick one, she's shuffling them. So
that's right.
It wouldn't work like that, no.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. This is what keeps it completely random.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, well, it keeps it completely open to what message needs to come forward for the person. So
right,
yeah.
All right, we have Sue Malik, 13, 17, and 19.
13, 17, and 19. Okay.
No, CC, it's 1 through 30 for past, 1 through 30 for present, and 1 through 30 for future.
Okay. All right. So Sue, the first card that you picked for what was is Ruby, whose spirit name is Genuine Beauty. And they're saying that this card comes up for you to understand the authenticity of who you are has always, I mean, you know, our beauty is always a part of ourselves, but the authenticity of who you are as a person is directly connected to your understanding of your beauty. And as you've gone through that first part of your life, that's been where the struggle is. And it's also where the success has been for you. So that what is now is rhodonite, which is new balance, meaning that because the message of Ruby is uncertainty is a gift from the future. So rhodonite creates this ability for what's unexpected, what's unanticipated to come into our lives in such a way that it doesn't upset us. And because you have the balance that you need from Ruby, it allows that unexpected to be something that's more of joy and happiness. And you get that even when there's challenge, there's a gift within that that makes your life fuller. Yeah. And so that then what you move into, what will be is labradorite. And labradorites it's an anchor of light. And so that means that you have set up for yourself the things that make the unexpected when it comes in to be something that you are open to dealing with, right? Like you're not living in fear, you're letting that fear go and stepping fully into that sense of light that is fully anchored in who you are and within all that is. Yeah.
Very interesting. I got very powerful cards for you, Sue. It starts off with the devil. I have the death card and then the fool. So I think
Wow.
in the message that's kind of similar to Cheryl's with this is there's probably been a lot of hardships in your life, maybe toxic environments that you've been a part of, where you really had to cut some of that out. This is that ending and transition. It's an opportunity for rebirth into the fool. So that innocent kind of energy, higher perspective. So not seeing the bad in people, but tapping more into that innocent kind of energy and starting a new beginning for yourself through all of those hardships, really learning those lessons and embracing them in the most positive way possible. So kind of similar to what you were picking up is what I was getting there.
Yeah, no, I think it's sort of like a different way, a different, like looking at it through a different window.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, Sue. I should have made a banner for how we were going to do the readings before we started them. So we're picking a number 1 through 30 for the past, 1 through 30 for the present, and 1 through 30 for the future. And we're using Cheryl's Guardian Gemstone cards to do for Akashic Record readings. All right. We have Krista, 9, 23, and 10. All right, Krista. You're welcome, Sue. Thank you, Wiki. And thank you, Sharon Sight. Yeah, and if anybody's interested in Cheryl's book or her gemstone deck, Sharon Sight just posted her link.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, that's true. Thank you, Sharon. That's
Sharon's awesome.
Part of it was because I'm going to be adding cards. I decided to just set this up so that you just buy them directly from me, instead of having to deal with Amazon. So for Krista, so your first card that you picked was Amethyst, and what the guides really want to point to for you in this is that what was is love and a sense of like peace within you that has been like pushed away from you somehow. So it's like having an awareness that peace exists or love exists, but not always feeling connected to it. And the challenge that comes in life when that's, when that's your experience. But what is Moldavite, star power. I don't know if you know Moldavite, but Moldavite is actually tiny little pieces of meteorites that fall on the earth. And so that means that they're not, it's a physical element that's not made on earth, right? It's it's someplace out there in the universe.
Right.
And that's what they're saying is to understand there's something that's a part of you that transcends this physical environment. And that's part of where the struggle has been for you, is in learning how to be okay with that part of yourself, right? Like maybe it's the part that makes you feel crazy or completely unlike other people somehow, some way. That's real. And a whole lot of us have to deal with that, but they want to acknowledge that now because they think that that's actually where your power is coming from and will continue, so that as you move into the future, You have Garnet, and Garnet's
Mm,
message is move from survive to thrive. So by
mm,
coming through the trials and tribulations, you have created within yourself the energy that you need to move from survive to thrive.
mm.
Yeah. Um,
This is so weird, Cheryl. I'm getting the same cards. That's what you're getting. I'm using tarot and you're using your gemstone.
I
But
love
like the same message. Yeah, like the Ten of Swords. So this is kind of feeling down, defeated. Um,
this.
Some
Oh,
hardships.
uh-huh.
And feeling very maybe a little trapped with it, unsure of how to move forward. Um, maybe with like with Cheryl's message a little bit of like not feeling like maybe you fit into society, fitting into the norm,
Yeah.
and that fear of kind of breaking through. But Spirit's saying, you're on your right path, Krista. This is
Hmm.
slow and steady movement forward,
Yep.
um, and that you have a very special, light to shine with the world. This is just saying, try to let go of the fear, of that feeling of being defeated. Let go of the heaviness a little bit, and embrace those quirks. Embrace being different and unique, and share your light with the world.
Yep.
I hope that resonates with you, Krista. All right. All right. Oh, Vanessa. So can you pick me 3 numbers? My birthday was um, May 29th. Happy birthday. So are we picking, can we have 3 numbers, Vanessa? 1 through 30 for each.
I can pick 3 numbers for her if that's what
You
she's
want to?
asking. Yeah, I can. I'll use her birthday. We do
Okay.
5, 29, and
That's
19.
what I was thinking at first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
That's perfect. 5,
yeah,
29, 19.
yeah, and we'll just do it in that order.
Sounds good.
Okay, so that's 5, 6, 7.
All right.
I love actually, I really that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, that is actually really good, isn't it?
Yeah. Um okay. All right. So Vanessa, so the first card that comes up for you, number 5, is Opal. So Opal, about what has been um um the the what they give me is this sense that at some point very early in your life, you must have felt like your fire was extinguished
Mm,
or covered up or denied in some way, that
mm,
it's almost like you were left with this sense of being powerless, and unable to affect change in your life. So even if you were aware of, oh, I don't want to be sad, it was kind of like, how can I even move to that, right? Like
yeah.
you're, because you were very, 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 very smart and sensitive, but it was like, it just like something was missing.
Mm,
Um, and part of the reason why it comes up this way is Opal's message is love is the fire of free personal expression. So if your fire, if your light has gone, your ability to express yourself is
mm,
pretty much non-existent, right? So that um, where you are now is the energy of celestite. And celestite is it goes by the spirit name of celestial walker. And the message is because fear is about choice, right? Because we always have the choice of whether we're going to be in fear or not. In any moment, you can choose balance, peace, and joy. So what celestite is saying to you, that because of the way that you have um, journeyed in your life, you've brought yourself to understand that you always have choice. And that's the way that you get to joy. That's the way you get to peace. That's the way you get to happiness, is out of your own choices. So that as you move forward, you do so within the clear streams of malachite.
Mm.
And it means that, like if you think of your life as a river, in the past, it was like maybe kind of dirty, might even be a little bit polluted. But what's in front of you in terms of the stream of your life is absolutely crystal clear and open to however it is that you want to move forward. You will live a long life. It's not over. And there is much, much, much more for you to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vanessa, I feel like you are very, when you're really in like this right energy, I feel like you are an excellent manifester, a manipulator of energy to, attract what you're looking for. Isn't it so interesting? For my first card, I had the Ace of Wands, but in this deck, it's the Fire with the Heart.
Oh, wow.
And I have the heart chakra too.
Oh my gosh.
So, Vanessa, the message with this is open up that heart, tap into that unconditional love, into that joy. You can make all of your wishes come true.
Wow.
Fulfillment of wishes. And just remember to keep that light shining brightly. Attract with what you're seeking, Vanessa. I love that.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll take a little bit of that one for myself, Vanessa.
Right.
Right.
All right. I hope that resonates, Vanessa, and happy birthday.
Yes.
All right. Carrie G.
Okay.
11729. And thank you so much for the super chat, Judy.
Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, so Carrie. Oh, wow. So the first card for you is Onyx. And the energy of Onyx is very much about unity and how unity comes out of heated expression, heated experience, like almost like the kind of thing that, like, it might feel like we're melting, but what we're really doing is integrating who we are physically and spiritually to serve that sense of us in unity with all that is. Yeah. And so that unity does not erase the individual. So they're saying that the struggle that has been for you in the past is feeling yourself without letting go of yourself within, like, the transcendence experience of things. And so that, you have celestite too. See, this happens for people. So we get cards coming back up. For you, celestite is here because it's what raises your sense of individual awareness to a place where you don't let go of it, right? Like, it's an empowering, it's being able to realize that amazing part of you is empowered to act in this moment for you and to guide you in however it is that whatever it is that you seek, right? Like, it makes this something doable. Like, whatever you want, it becomes doable.
Yeah. So
that Carnelian, whose spirit name is Mystery Reveals, is also about unity. It's about that awareness when you understand your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, and you're you're willing for all of those parts to come together however they might, there's nowhere that you can't go. There's nothing you can't do.
I love that. Carrie G, I got some really powerful cards for you. You know, I know Carrie G pretty well. We have the sacrifice card here, which is the equivalent of the hangman. And so definitely there's been a lot of challenges going on. And I know that from talking to Carrie, but where things have kind of felt like they've stalled, where things feel very kind of stuck. There's not a lot of movement. It is through this hardship that you're gaining that strength, standing into that power, learning those lessons. And ultimately, it is an opportunity for rebirth for you, Carrie G. So taking all of these hard things that are, you know, I always say the hardest things that we go through are the greatest lessons that we can learn, and how we really grow and fully step into our power and, you know, go forward victoriously. There's a lot of positive changes happening for you, Carrie. It's just getting through, you know, this stuckness, just a bit of heaviness. But you're going to get there, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Krista. All right. I'm going to do Judy. Judy says this is awesome. 1, 5, and we'll do 19 again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it with birthdays, isn't it?
It is. It really.
And when you get to like the next part, we can do up to 60.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to get to 1945.
Yeah, that'll
You're going to be busy.
We'll start doing every color of every gemstone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad we got this all arranged. I'm enjoying.
I am too, Kevin. Thank you so much. I love how the readings you're doing. It's just like, yeah.
It's very in sync.
Yes, it is. It's very. So for Judy, the first card is turquoise. So this for you is about the this is for you about the creative essence that created you. And I was telling this to Kevin earlier, but when turquoise came to me for the first time in doing this work for the book, she came to me and she says, I will speak to you and I want you to refer to me as Mother Turquoise. And so she's speaking now to you to tell you that your foundation is created with the essence of the universe. And while you may have had doubts at different points in your life about the truth of who you are, the foundation of who you are is truth. And she wants you to remember that. Agate comes with the spirit name of rainbow strength. And I mean, you can kind of see it as part of the reason why I picked this picture. You know, agate is one of those things that just has all of these amazing colors and patterns in them. And there is a power that comes when your kind of like separate pieces of you are able to come together, you know, kind of like a puzzle being put together. And that's what, you know, I mean, you've been doing this work for a while now, but they feel like your puzzle is coming together and you're going to have that strength that comes from the rainbow, because the rainbow is able to hold all of those different colors together. So that what you move into is the power of selenite, which is liquid light, right? And it's that idea of how, right, like when all colors of light are present, you have white light, right? Like you have that clarity. And when we do our work, when we do our personal work, and we allow the darkness to come up and move away, because we don't have to hold on to it, what we move into is that understanding of ourselves within the clear light of who we are.
Yeah.
So all is connected, valued, and unique. That's the words for you to take forward as you move. You know, if you're trying to figure out what to do, is to remember you are connected, you are valued, and you are unique.
I love that. Judy, I'm loving the cards I got for you. You're very powerful energy. You know, you have a very open heart. You're very giving. You're coming through with the Queen of Cups, which is that motherly kind of energy, giving a lot of yourself, a lot of love to other people, a little intuitive too. And with that, I feel like you're very much kind of like Libra energy, like speaking the truth and standing up for what's right, and shining light to the darkness with the Devil card. So I don't know if this is, if you do some kind of like if you're a lawyer, it feels like I said, it feels kind of Libra energy to me, but just standing up for what's right and speaking your truth and sharing that truth with the world. And that's what I got for you, Judy. All right. And thank you so much for the super chat, Carrie. Terry Grigsby, 14, 23, and 19. Oh, Starhawk says, this is really great. I know what my next deck is going to be. I've always been fascinated by all kinds of rocks.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, Judy.
All right. Okay, here we go, Terry. Oh, interesting. Okay. The first card that you drew is tourmaline for what was. And the message of tourmaline through the records is all is possible. And feels like you must have had somebody in your past, probably when you were really young, that actually tried to tell you that all is not possible. And the thing is that at a soul level, you brought tourmaline energy with you. And it's what's actually helped motivate you through your life, is basically to try to prove whoever said it's not possible wrong. And that's been frustrating, but there's also been moments where that's been like such gratifying clarity for you to be able to claim truth for yourself, to do what you have been told is impossible, right? It would be like not being able to, being told you couldn't walk, and you then worked really hard and figured out how to do it, right? It's right. That kind of energy. So that what is onyx. And so you have within you, because of tourmaline, you have within you that ability to be unified within who you are. And that is very much, it's been that energy for you. It feels like maybe 5-6 years or so, but definitely now that ability to feel unified within you, within yourself, like body, mind, heart, soul, is the foundation of what your life is and what you're moving forward with, so that you move forward with celestial walker. But it's for you, this is very much about how you connect with the stars of your dreams, of your hopes, of your visions, and how that becomes a part of your everyday life, so that you're like living in that light, in that vision, without any resistance.
Yeah, I agree. I'm feeling a lot of similar energies. It feels like in the past things have been kind of heavy, things have kind of been in the dark. And you've really had to persevere. There's a lot of strength and perseverance, even almost at times just like even like getting out of bed just being hard, but you have that mindset of continuing to push through all of the heaviness. And it's ultimately you doing that is you are manifesting that new beginning for yourself, that positive rebirth moment for you, Terry. So I feel like there's a lot of positive movement. It's been kind of hard, but you're kind of cutting out what's no longer serving you, and you have like your eye on the prize to this positive new beginning.
Wow.
All right.
We're doing a lot here, Kevin.
We are doing a lot. I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of wonderful subscribers, but we're probably only going to do a couple more.
Yeah, I know you've got time, right? Me too. So, okay.
Shannon Hutchinson, 2, 5, and 14. But this is fun. I think when we're done with the live, if Cheryl's open to it, we would love to have her come back and do more readings like this.
Oh, thank you. I would love to do this. I tell you, I love doing readings, but there is something about working with these cards that just makes
They're powerful.
They really are. Like, oh my God. And that's sort of how my readings are with people.
Yeah.
Like when I just open someone else's records, that's generally what I get told is people feel like it's just like someone blew open their Pandora box and they're like, oh.
And I've never had my Akashic records read, so I would love to get together with you sometime to get that done.
We can do that. We can do that. So Shannon, your first card is Sodalite. And Sodalite is so the spirit name is liminal starlight, and the word liminal means of a threshold. And so part of it is the idea about the light that shines, like say through an open doorway, through a threshold. It's the way light comes and it goes from one dimension to another dimension. And they think that there's a way in which when you were born, or I don't know, maybe even when you were, 4 or 5 years old or something like that, you might have thought of yourself as, like an angel or a Martian or something that wasn't human, but yet you were still here present, right? And they think that that's your light coming through the threshold of your soul. So there's just something there that you probably also would have gotten teased about. And so it made it hard sometimes to feel comfortable, right? Like when we feel like we're different than everybody around us, it's hard. And they feel like that's been a lot of what your life has been. But what is now is quartz, clear light. It's the origin of who you are coming through clearly in a way that is incredibly powerful because it is so clear. And you have come to peace with that part of yourself. So that moving forward, this is lovely, is petrified wood. And I know that this isn't one that people will think of as a gemstone.
Right.
Like demanded, like the council demanded that I do petrified wood. I'm like, okay. But the thing about petrified wood, its spirit name is essential alchemy, right? So and what we know, right? Petrified wood comes physically. It's because it's how trees basically change through pressure.
Yeah.
right? That's the alchemical process, right? And it's how the cellulose becomes a stone. And so why that's important for you is because you've brought through your starlight, you are learning how to be at peace with that in a clear lighted kind of way. It allows for you, for your life to basically be alchemical, right? Like you're able to shift things from, like, say, from impossible to possible, from ununderstandable to understandable, right? Like from the subconscious to the conscious. And that's what you're moving into.
Yeah, another kind of like master manifester kind of energy.
Yeah.
Shannon, and that's what I'm getting for you too. I have all pentacle cards for you, Shannon. I feel like you work so hard. You work so hard. You know, you bust your ass to get everything that you want in life. We have the hard worker here, and you're very, you know, Queen of Pentacles, which is can be an earth sign woman, but it's somebody that's very grounded, somebody that's very, you know, responsible, analytical. And you set your eye on something and you accomplish whatever goal you have for yourself, and bringing in that prosperity for you in your future, Shannon. So I say keep it up. I see a lot of wonderful new beginnings. Could even maybe be a new job or some extra income coming in for you.
Wow. Yep.
All right. All right, Sacred Hag, are you still here? I want to make sure that this was up at the beginning. So if you're still with us, Sacred Hag, if not, I'll do another one. And you're welcome, Shannon. Hey, Jean. Sacred Hag, are you still watching? I'm going to move on if she's not here, just because I want to make sure the last couple that we get to the. All right. Watch. I'm going to skip and she'll be like, I'm here. All right. Let's see. Last chance. All right. Maybe next time. Linda, are you here? Linda Ellison. Linda, are you still with us? I know, you guys. I'm trying to go in no particular order. Make it fair for everyone. Okay. Well, she just sent it not that long ago, so. Last chance. All right. I just saw Ice Wolf here.
Oh, perfect.
Ice Wolf, are you still here? Everybody that's still watching, why don't for the last two that we're going to do, why don't we write them in the chat right now, and I'll pull from the bottom of the chat.
There we go.
Are you still here, Ice Wolf? Repost your numbers, you guys.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Yes, Ice Wolf is still here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I'll pull the last one from the bottom of the chat from what everybody's resent.
So Ice Wolf has given us her birthday, right?
I don't know if it's her birthday or not.
because
But
78.
as you said that, I feel like it might be.
Yeah. So, okay. Okay.
1
So,
through 30, you guys. 1 through 30 for past, 1 through 30 for present, 1 through 30 for future.
so, Ice Wolf. So for you, the first card I get is Carnelian. What was, and they're saying that in an early part of your life, there was this sense within you that some parts of yourself were better than other parts of yourself, right? Like sort of like maybe like your body was better than your mind. And because it feels like, especially when it came to your mind, it feels like people were telling you that you weren't smart. And so Carnelian is about about how mystery reveals the truth. And so it sets you up then, but then for a foundation that is actually capable of revealing truth to you. Even though, because it was how you had to get around people telling you you weren't smart or something was wrong with you. And so a lot of your early life was kind of focused or distracted that way. So that Malachite, which is about clear streams, it's about all of that hard work, everything that, all the trials of your life, the challenges have brought you into a place where you can deal with who you are with clarity and with confidence. And because Malachite's message is personal power within emerges from the pressure to negate self. Right. So a lot of those trials and challenges or whatever is what actually made you be able to be honest and truthful with yourself about who you are and what you can do. So that Jasper is showing up again for you. Ancient unity. It means that you have that ability to bring forward from any place in the universe that you want truth for yourself and vision of whatever it is that you would like to do in your life.
Yeah. I'm getting very similar messages. I think with the past, you were saying, some kind of imbalance between the body and the mind. Things just feeling out of balance, out of whack. Some hardship in it, and it feeling like it's hard to get like that grounded footing for you, Ice Wolf. I feel like things are coming better for you now. You have the Lovers card representing you right now. So it could be a new relationship coming in. And maybe past relationships being out of balance is what I'm feeling with this. Maybe not the right relationships. But it feels good with where you're at now and going into the future. Yeah, this is following your passion and really manifesting that bright path forward for yourself. This is heading into a new direction, getting out of, feeling ungrounded, unbalanced, and stepping into one that really feels that fire in your soul, Ice Wolf. It feels really, really good where the future is going for you. It feels like a lot of letting go of those things that are no longer serving you and, like going forward on a brand new path. That it feels very passionate, very inspiring for you. All right. We're going to do one more, you guys. So, who are we going to end with? All right. Ziggy B.
Awesome.
3, 5, and 7. And I'm sorry if you didn't hear Cheryl. I choked on my drink a little bit.
Oh, no.
So sorry about that.
All
my
right.
allergies have been crazy too lately.
I know.
It's a holiday weekend being outside all weekend. I feel all stuffed up. Throat's kind of Not feeling great.
All right. Okay, so Ziggy, so for you, the first card is Sodalite. And for you, the energy of Sodalite is embodied in part of their message, which is take a deep breath and allow the broken bits to fly away. To let go of the hurt and the harm, to let go of the things that made this difficult, to feel within yourself the depth of who you are, because it's there. And it's just about letting this. I know that's a hard thing. I understand it, but I also can feel like the energy here is just this very light, like just letting it go. Because that brings you to what is, the motion of that, like partly what they're describing here is not even so much about what was, it's about how to take care of what's going on in your life, right? It's to let those broken bits fly away, because what comes from that is the clear light of quartz. Light brings clarity and helps eliminate fear. So as you're letting go of those bits, things are clearing up, and the light is able to reach you in a way that it didn't feel like it could do. So that you move into the energy of Celestite. Again, this energy of the celestial walker, because it brings you into like the starlight of who you are in the deepest levels possible. And that's then becomes the place that you have the ability to live your life and to understand that that you are connected and that you are loved and that you can find peace within.
Yeah. I love those messages from what I heard. Sorry, my niece just got home from school.
Oh, yeah. It's time.
Ziggy, for you, I feel like it's been a bit of a spiritual awakening moment for you, maybe even since the pandemic happened, where before everything, was really grounded and analytical, maybe very business minded, focusing on the finances. And then it's gotten to a shift where I think opening up that intuition and opening up that light and sharing it with others has really been the goal. Sharing that love and compassion with the world. And I feel like going into the future, you have the Hierophant. So like that light that you were saying with the Celestite, sharing that with the world. This is coming in and sharing that light as a teacher or a mentor towards other people, and continuing on that path for spiritual growth and enlightenment. I think with that, even a lot of those intuitive abilities really developing for you, Ziggy. So
that's awesome.
All right. Well, this was a lot of fun. Like I said, we'll definitely have to do this again.
I would love
We'll talk about it after the show. But if you all could do me a favor real quick, if I have a moderator that's in the chat, could you post Cheryl's YouTube channel link? Everyone, please go over there and subscribe. And in the description box, I have Cheryl's website. So if you're interested in classes with Akashic Records, if you're looking for an Akashic Record reading, or Cheryl's books, or even her wonderful card deck that she was using today, the Gemstone Guardians.
Yes, exactly.
You can find all of that there.
Thank you. Thank you. It was awesome to be with you, Kevin. I really appreciate
it. Yes, it was very nice.
Everybody's showing up. I really, it makes my heart warm.
Yeah, there's so much love in this community. You instantly feel it when you go live.
Yeah.
All that love and support. We have a really wonderful
it's awesome. It's wonderful.
All right, everyone. Well, I hope you all have a blessed day, a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all real soon, okay?
Yeah. Everyone, take care. Enjoy the weekend.
Blessings, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you.